I wanted to talk about something that happened when I was growing up that actually made me into a really strong person. And um, it just, it shows the strength of my mom and like the type of women, the line of women I come from. So my grandma, she was a Leo. She was extremely strong. I'm going to shuffle the cards while I talk to you guys. Extremely strong Leo, and her husband, Lawrence, passed away, I think from side effects from World War I, I believe, if I'm correct. My mom will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. And my grandma was born in 1908. My grandma LaGolda, the one I spent a lot of time with growing up, the one that grew all her own food, the one that like would rub you in the same place on your arm until it went raw. She was such a good woman, like the best. I think, honestly, I think the best person I've ever and will ever know on this earth. And yesterday was my mom's birthday. Tomorrow is my sister's birthday. I have two older sisters. And this morning, my oldest sister, Stacy, sent me a beautiful picture of herself, and she was standing in, she owns a carry out in Ohio. You know, it's a drive-through where you get to point at wine or your beer or whatever, and they grab it for you. And, you know, just very, and my other sister's very successful. She lives in Arizona. That wanted to come out. It was just fell out. A leg up, a loyal heart, and time for a nap. But we're going to put those back in. Anyway, and I just started thinking about how like amazing my mom and sisters are, and how when I was 10 years old and my dad had just passed away about literally, I think a couple weeks before, my mom, I think, worked as a secretary for my dad. They were divorced when I was 3, but she worked as a secretary for him, I'm pretty sure. And then I think moonlighted or something in the evening for an attorney doing secretarial work. So my mom was a single mom, super strong as well. Cancer is her sun sign. Leo is her moon sign. Leos are super strong. And this boy that always made fun of me on the school bus, he was 18, and here goes my dog on the couch. He was 18, and I think he had like flunked and was like, I don't even know why he was on our school bus, okay? He always made fun of me on the school bus. He even made fun, you know, he's a kid, he's 18, but still, you know, obviously wasn't eating right or something if you're gonna make fun of someone whose dad just passed away. Well, we had been on the school bus that day, and he had made fun of me. I'll never forget this. His name was Tim. He lived all the way at the end of our street. Our street name was Blue Ash. And I was on my bicycle later that night. I was catching lightning bugs in old Cool Whip containers with my girlfriends. We always put holes in the Cool Whip containers and let the lightning bugs go before they died. That's actually not true. I'm sorry, my vegan friends, I didn't know then. So anyway, this kid spit on my bicycle seat and made me get on it and ride it home. I was 10. So my mom comes home from work, and so my oldest sister was 16, so she would like watch me and my other sister. My other sister was 13 or 14. There's like 3 years and then 6 years between my sisters and I. So he had spit on my bicycle seat, and I'm gonna do this one again because this reminds me of my grandma chopped wood, and made me ride it home. And he was calling me names and stuff like that. He was actually calling me a B word, B-A-S-T-A-R-D, because my dad had passed away. I was really young, you guys, so. And my mom came home from work, and I was crying, and she asked me what was wrong. And literally she pulled in our garage. I opened the garage door. She saw that I was crying and didn't even get out of the car. She asked me what was wrong, and she said, "Get in the car." I got in the car. She drove to the end of the street. She knocked on their front door. I think in front of his parents, she did this. She told him to come outside. She told him to open the garage door and get his bicycle out. She spit a goober on his seat and made him ride it around the block. Now, that's okay. You know, of course, you know, we wouldn't all do that, but that's strength. That's a mom that's working hard and doesn't want to come home to see her 10-year-old little girl who just lost her dad, you know, not too long before, crying because some little boy, yeah, that deserves like 1,000,000 hearts. This should have 150 hearts by the time this video's over. And I always think of that when I think of someone who's really strong. My mind always goes to my grandma, but then it also always goes to, I don't want to pull that card. We pulled that card. Oh, good. This is perfect last time. My mind always goes to that day that my mom, and my mom watches these, so hi Mom, I hope you're not mad for me sharing that story about that boy. You know, but he was of age, he knows better. So he knew better. But I remember driving home because we had gotten in our car after all the 30 seconds of the drive because he lived right at the end of the street. I remember my mom, I'm gonna pull this card. I remember my mom saying, Andi, don't ever let anyone pick on you. Don't ever let anyone treat you like that. Just don't. Just don't. Don't. I'm not always going to be here. Don't ever let anyone do that to you, please. And I think, so now looking at all of this from above perspective, right? Years later, I think I put myself in my mother's shoes and I think of everything she must have been going through, you know, having 3 little girls, 2 which were becoming teenagers, 1 who was full-blown teenager and drop dead gorgeous. Both my older sisters, beautiful. And her ex-husband passing away and her working her butt off and coming home and seeing her little girl crying over a boy spitting on her bicycle seat. I think she was just like, oh, I'm ready, right? And so I think we can all get pushed to a limit of exhaustion, of anger about what's happening in the world. Oh, so I just want to say, because I want to keep this streamlined on the same subject, strength. That's, my mom really taught me how to be strong and how to stick up for myself in that moment. I don't think anyone ever made fun of me after that. Definitely not on that school bus, not in the neighborhood. I think pretty much everybody found out about that. No one ever made fun of me again. And I think that this is, I'm gonna pull that card. I think that we all get our strength from somewhere, and I definitely got it from my mom and my grandma, and my sisters definitely are strong too. One like is on top of a bunch of people in a major corporation and the other owns her own business, and then we have little me. Yeah, okay, so that being said, thanks Mom, if you do watch this. She watches, I think, a lot of them. I know you remember who I'm talking about. I really appreciate you doing that. Love you. Okay, so I'm gonna get into this. So the cards I picked are Chop Wood. This one's from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. The second card I picked from the Health deck was Growth. The third card I picked from the Lightworkers Oracle deck is Master Healing. And the fourth card I picked from Shadowscapes Tarot is the Three of Pentacles. So I'm actually going to start with Chop Wood. Chop Wood. I love that this has a broomstick in the photo because my grandma, if we were not feeling well, or at least she always did this to me, she had stairs in her house, and if I would wake up and come down ugly acting, we call that ugly acting in my family, she would like make me get to work cleaning or something, and I would always feel better. Or if I didn't feel well, she always said grab hold of a broomstick or get in gear, you know? So I love this card. My grandma was definitely not a lazy woman. She did everything, nor is my mom, is my mother. Both always did everything on their own. Okay. Now, if I can find the card's meaning, I'll read it to you. Okay. This is about being grounded in everyday experience, humility. So this goes a lot with the story I just shared with you. Isn't that funny how that happens? So obviously that day, my mom had had enough of that kid making fun of me, and I don't know how many jobs she was working at the time, and the stress, you know? And I'm actually really proud of her for handling it that way, but I'm sure now she would handle it differently, but still. Being grounded in everyday experience. There is a time, though, to go off like that. There is a time that we do have to just let someone have it to understand that a certain behavior won't be tolerated. Okay, this oracle's message. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms. When it is in full blossom, the mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. No one knows this better than me, working towards a goal to release the attachment. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. Okay, I'm gonna, instead of reading the relationship message, I'm gonna read the protection message, because I feel like, feel free to hit the share button on this video, you guys, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up button underneath this video, or the heart or whatever. And hey, in Arizona, my family lives there. Protection message, are you an armchair astronaut? We've all done this before. Do you dream of wealth and fame, big ideas, inventions, or desires with a capital D? The appearance of this card is a sign that you might be devoting far too much time to dreaming and talking about your dreams. You have to get out of the chair to make things happen. You actually have to do something. Start with a small task. Remember, the big dream becomes reality only after you have begun to take incremental steps. Mythologist Joseph Campbell once said, take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 steps towards you. So I'm going to relate this to two things. So for example, I'm sorry, you guys, my hair is driving me nuts. Sorry. If you're in a job that you don't, it's superhuman here. If you're in a job that you don't, be nice, thank you, that you don't like, and you dream of starting your own business, but maybe you don't think it would be profitable, you should still start it, because by doing what you love, it puts you in such a state of peace and happiness that the rest of the areas in your life fall into place. There's a saying, do what you love and never work a day in your life. And of course, we all need to make money. However, once we get a passion for something, it's vitally important we go for that passion. When I got into health over a decade ago, I was extremely sick. I had had an eating disorder as a fitness model, and I was getting where I couldn't straighten out my fingers because I had eaten such a high protein diet. My mother, instrumental, telling me to fly to New York and learn from a man there that became my absolute guru. And I wish I would have known that then, because I would have spent even more time with him. I didn't know that I was in the hands of a genius when it came to health. And I soaked his knowledge up like a sponge, and I used it on myself, and I knew that it worked. And I brought it to the rest of the world because I thought, this works. He knows what he's talking about, and very humble man, great guy. So at any rate, you know, when we, and health is what I love, but we're going into a new phase in the world right now. And so when I went vegan, when I went gluten-free 15 years ago in Ohio, people thought it was crazy. And now it's the norm. There's a ton of health coaches. Everyone's into health, and everybody's going plant-based, everybody. And I feel like I'm always 15 years ahead of the game. When I discovered the spiritual part of me, when I got closer to that part of me that was always there this past year, really difficult time for me, but had its purpose. I knew that my life path had to switch, and I knew there was a way to mesh the two together or to keep the two going separately. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of both, because let's face it, you guys, our issues live in our tissues. And if we aren't spiritually grounded and know who we are on a core level and are doing what we love with our lives, we are not going to feel healthy, right? Right. Okay, so when I started this business back in December and hired my WordPress guy, Mike, and built my second website, The Detox Intuitive, and built the new YouTube channel, The Detox Intuitive, I looked at my current YouTube channel with over 3 million views and 17,000 subscribers and said, how in the heck am I going to grow this? YouTube is a 20-year-old market. You know, if you're 20, you can build a following. If you're, I was like, how am I going to do this? The yield that the new site has brought and the new YouTube channel has brought has been so much quicker than my business that I've been on the news for, and I've had celebrity clients with, and all of that. It's been so much quicker. And that was a sign that I was on the right path. Also, if you soak up the knowledge of something quickly, it means you love it. You love what you're doing. So for example, if you're into like Bitcoin and you really pick up on that, I can tell you anything about Bitcoin, anything. Now, if someone sat down with me and explained it to me, I could probably, you know, pick it up. But would I want to do it for a living? No, because it doesn't. Hey, Donna Lynn. Hey, Deanna Bramble. No, because it's not something that actually interests me. But when I bought my first deck of cards, and I went through them all and I learned the meanings, and then I watched another tarot reader that I think is the best out of all the ones I've seen. She is the absolute best anywhere, and she has the following to prove it. I picked up on this knowledge like a sponge. It was like learning detoxification all over again. And I knew, I was like, the course is going to shift. So what this card is talking about is moving forward with your dreams. Was I paranoid as hell that I was going to get made fun of and people were going to say, you know, what the hell is she doing with these cards? The first time I sat down on this couch, yes, if you look at that video, I was dripping sweat off my forehead. But I've come to a place in my life where I do not care what other people think of me. I just don't. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I could pick my nose on camera. Doesn't matter. I'll do it right now. There you go. I'm not going to eat it, but you know. So it doesn't matter, right? Thanks for the hearts, you guys, that I picked my nose on camera. Okay, so I'm going to take Growth next. This is from the Healing deck. Growth. Every time I get a new deck, I get really excited. I'm going to go get one today because I just want to. Because it makes me excited. Growth. This is a beautiful card. This is a pretty deck. It was super cheap too. You are never done with your spiritual growth. It is a lifelong process. There will always be something new to become skilled at, and ways to enhance your energy. Make your spiritual growth a priority. Set goals to further your knowledge and plan how you are going to achieve this. Share what you have learned with others. You can do this by blogging or by modeling the lessons you are learning. Yeah, we can all do this. Practice visualizing and believing in your inner senses. Start your growth process by taking a deep look within yourself. Did that this morning. That's not always fun to do, but you got to. See yourself surrounded with the white light of your personal power. I did that this morning. Hold this vision in your mind and increase your power by seeing your light expanding and emanating from you. Devote yourself to your own growth. Devote yourself to your own growth. Know what makes you feel happy, content, and in charge in your life. The light of the moon surrounds a fairy as well as the stars and the butterflies. That trail from her legs. Stars represent luck, hope, renewal, and good health. The butterflies remind, I was gonna laugh, sorry you guys. The butterflies remind you that growth and change can happen in a joyful manner. The full moon indicates a time of reflection. Shine a light on what you are attracted to. You're definitely in a time of change and growth. So, I love this. So shining a light within. Okay, so I have issues, we all do. An issue that came for me later in life, after I was hurt by someone long time ago, long time ago, was trust and jealousy. And I've conquered one, now I need to conquer trust. Yeah, because the doors are all closed and locked. Do you know what I mean? And there's no shortage of messages coming in to try to unlock the doors. And I'm just like, oh, but I'm about to unlock the door. But those are big ones for me. Also, something that I developed later in life was a temper. And it was from someone else's temper, and it caused my temper to get shady. Only I wasn't as good verbally, like I didn't have the quick comebacks and things. So mine would actually be like, if I felt like someone was being really, really mean to me verbally, I would just, yeah, I was mean. But that's been conquered. One thing we need to look at is like childhood patterns and things like that, and how we don't have to live in that way. You know, a lot of like psychologists, what the hell do they know? You know, go to biofeedback, get a good biofeedback therapist, Veronica McKay in Carlsbad. I can email you her information. That'll change your life. You know, counselor, psychotherapist. Sorry, you guys, I don't want to piss anyone off. My friend Sam's pretty good, actually. You guys want his number, I'll give you his number. But counselors and stuff like that, you know, they have their own set of problems, and they're also easy to manipulate. They are, especially if you're really smart. You can kind of, you know, do the blame game on your partner or whoever you're dealing with, your dad or whatever it is. So, you know, I hope this all makes sense to you guys. I still have 20 of you on. So, okay, Master Healing. I love that this card came up, and here's why. So this card, this deck was the first deck I got at a store. No, this was sent to me. This was sent to me by a client, one of my detox clients. And it is of Lightworker Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And Master Healing, this kept coming up, and it said that, like, you know, you've mastered being a healer, and now you're going to master another part of healing that people need. And I kept thinking, who in the hell's this for? You know, who's this for? And that was, you know, like 10 months ago. And I think I understand who it was for now. I'll read an excerpt of the card for you today. As you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life. Be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master, Serapis Bey, comes to you now with the blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. The Master Serapis Bey is a beloved guide for those who feel a strong soul connection to ancient Egypt, for healers who are developing their own modalities, and those who love to work with high-frequency concepts. He also assists with the translation of spiritual inspiration into practical worldly plans. He chooses people to share his gifts with wisely, people who know how to articulate the spiritual path. He comes to confirm that the ascended masters are aware of you. You are an integral part of a powerful spiritual team that has taken physical incarnation to help awaken consciousness into love. I'm sweating, you guys, it's hot. Sorry. You are asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to attain it? What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to obtain it? What do you love? Not what do your parents love? What do they love for you? What do your friends love for you? What does your partner love for you? What do you love that you're willing to overcome any obstacle to obtain it? You are asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to obtain it? What motivates and inspires you? Not what seems possible or practical, but what is authentic. We are most powerful when we serve authentically from the heart. A bird might learn how to dive underwater from time to time, but it is never going to be at its most powerful if it has to live underwater. It would struggle to thrive if it were to force itself into such unnatural expressions of its life energy. The bird yearns to fly because that is its divine nature and purpose. You too have divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. What feels most like you? We always try to change ourselves for what other people want us to be. And we also try to change other people. And I think that's probably what I learned the most. Lewis's vegan bone, oh, that's disgusting. That's probably what I learned the most over this past year. Don't try to change anyone. Let people come to you, let people come to you authentically and show up as who they really are. And it's not about making judgment calls. It's about embracing people right where they're at right now. Even if you think they're not as far along as you. None of us are. None of us are. I still lose my shit, meaning I still pop off at the mouth. I pop off on my Twitter feed all the time. All the time, all day. Thank God I don't do it on here. You guys wouldn't even be, I'd have 0 followers. But I need an outlet, you know? So it's about, that was horrible. Let's just do this, you guys. My hair's a little unmanageable. I had it cut the other day and it's like, ugh, it's like there's a lot. What is best for you? The bird yearns to fly because that is its divine nature and purpose. You too have divine nature and purpose. This goes back to the very first card, the second card, Chop Wood, where it said we need to get off the couch and create a business that we feel good about. What feels most like you? It is difficult to access the truth of our own nature when we believe we should live up to the expectation of others. If we are attached to an outcome or afraid of an answer, we can unintentionally block our perspective faculties, a spiritual version of sticking our fingers in our ears and shouting blah, blah, blah. I actually did that in my kitchen the other day. That's telling. I got a lot of work to do. The blessing of Serapis Bey includes his clear flame of divine cleansing light. This can assist us in letting go of whatever blocks us from knowing the truth of our nature. So we're going to do an exercise together. So hit the thumbs up button if you guys want to do like an energetically uplifting, protective lesson together at the end of this video. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for a divine purpose. What you dream and desire contains the seed of divinity. It is meant to help attract your life's mission and fulfill it with love, joy, creativity, and pleasure. If we are willing to go through what is necessary for an outcome, it will happen for us. All that suffering is worth it. The details may appear very different from, I added the word very, different from what we imagined they would. But the truth remains, if you ask for something and are willing to go through the process required to have that come to life, it will happen for you. The universe is that generous, unconditionally supportive and loving of you. It is your creative partner. It will provide you with all you need to manifest your dreams, desires, and destiny. Here's the invocation that this has for us. So we're supposed to say this because the book says to. I call upon the loving Master Serapis Bey and his master healing through the clear flame of truth and grace. I ask to know in the perfect time and the perfect way, according to divine wisdom, the truth in all matters of importance to me and my divine life's journey now, including, here you may ask the particular question. So ask a question of like a truth you need to know. But really, I think once we come to a certain place in our spiritual walk, we don't need to know the truth of anything because we have it within us. I ask to be lovingly shown my true nature, my deepest desires, and most inspired dreams. Please help me know myself so that I know how best to live my divine destiny. May all beings on the path of self-knowledge be assisted and supported with unconditional love. Through my own free will and divine grace, so be it. We're all going to do something together, okay? So my shaman, his name is William. He's a wonderful guy. There's two things I'm going to teach you right now. This is just a little, sorry. This is just a little dish I have by my bed, and in it I have different crystals. This one's really good. Don't ask me to name anything. This one's good for love. This has like a little indent. This little blue spear. This one cleanses the rest. Excuse me, belching, but remember, I don't care what people think, so I'll belch right on camera. Excuse me. This one's good for love as well. Some are good for money. This one's good for money. It's also good to get rid of negative energy. You should carry it in your wallet. So I sleep with these next to my bed and I cleanse them under the full moon. I have other crystals throughout the house, but one's for healing, you know, an amethyst for protection, you know, so I sleep with these next to my bed, and I picked all of these individual and put them in this little dish to put next to my bed because they're just good positive energy for different things I want to happen. And every night before bed, I just say a little prayer. I just say, Jesus of Nazareth, God, universe. And then I call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Mother Mary, my angels. You know, can you please guide me in making the best decisions for my life? Please guide me. Even if the decisions make me feel sick to my stomach when I make, just guide me along my path, because I really want to go the right direction. And if I go the wrong direction, make me learn a major lesson from it. And that has helped me immensely. And for all of you who think that the cards are not of God and they're wicked or whatever, I've had a couple of people email me that, you know, how's that judgment working for you? Because these cards taught me to be less judgmental and to accept people more for who they are. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be like kind of evil and ugly acting if I feel someone's not being honest, but these cards taught me how to be less judgmental. The second exercise I think would be really great for us to do, and this is the one my shaman taught me, William is his name, is, and I've had him on one of these videos, so go check it out. It was like in November or December, is to imagine a white healing light all around us of protection. And this white light is divine protection. This is especially good if you feel like you're being attacked energetically, like if you're having a real shit day, run out of gas, tire goes flat, anything like that. Just imagine every morning a white light of healing protection from the crown chakra, the throat chakra, sacral chakra, just all throughout your body. And then as you move through your day, just imagine that you are divinely protected throughout your day. Divinely protected throughout your day. That nothing can harm you. And you can even imagine, what I like to do is imagine like my nephew in that light, imagine my sisters in that light, imagine my mom in that light, imagine my dogs in that light, imagine clients in that light. I like to imagine people in that light. We're all divinely protected. I hope this video helped you. Gosh, you guys, I'm so happy that you guys, a few of you hung out for this whole time. Do me a favor. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to try to get 3 videos done real quick to the Detox Intuitive on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to do 3 live videos. I think I'm going to do Aries, Gemini, Aquarius. I might do Aries, Libra, Sagittarius. I don't know, for the month of July. Also give you all the money to donate to the channel, etc. there. And then after you subscribe to the Detox Intuitive on YouTube, head on over to Andrea Cox TV on YouTube. That is my health and detoxification channel. I'm going to be uploading this video to both channels, but I'm going to be going on the one now live. I'll post all the links in the description box right here immediately after this video. I hope you guys have a great holiday, a great week. Oh gosh, the dog thing. Please take care of your pets this weekend. The shelters are overbooked, okay? They're overbooked. And when I say overbooked, I mean overbooked. And the reason they're overfilled and so many dogs get euthanized this time of year is because of the fireworks. Dogs have been known to like kill themselves going over fences to try to escape the noise of the fireworks. Fireworks are bullshit, you guys. We're not 12 years old. It upsets the wild animal kingdom and our animal friends that live with us. Please grow up, you guys. Get rid of the fireworks. Okay, I'm Andrea Cox. Thank you so much. I'm going to post all the links. Got to take 5 minutes. Go through all the links. I will see you guys Saturday. I'm going to do the Detox Q&A on Saturday at 3:30, this coming Saturday. what is it, Wednesday today, because you guys sent me emails when I said I wasn't going to do it. So I'm going to do it this weekend. So have your detox questions ready right here, 3:30 next Saturday. Okay, have a great day. All right, be well. Bye.